I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I've breathed the mountain air, man. Of travel I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been a Maury, Tari, Gerilla.
So it's just over 50 years ago that the song I've Been Everywhere was a big hit.
Yes.
And now, over 50 years later, it's a big hit again, as used by Rihanna in her song.
Oh.
Can you tell us how you feel about the life of this song, the longevity of this song?
Oh, I'm amazed. It's a song I put less thought into. It's only 2 hours work and only 3 chords and 12 bars. So, I mean, nothing could be simpler. And if I'd have given a lot of thought to it, probably would never have got anywhere. That's the crazy part.
Tell us how the song came into being.
I was coming back to Sydney after being away for a few years. I was up in Coolangatta. I was sitting in the front seat of my panel van, listening to the radio, and on the radio at the time was some of those. At the time, everything was rock. This was 1959, and there was Giddy Up a Ding Dong and all those nothing numbers, I called them, because there's only like 3 chords in it and 12 bars. And I was irritable because I couldn't get any ideas, and I thought I ought to write them in 12 bars with 3 chords. And suddenly I had 3 road maps there. And I thought, gee, a lot of these towns rhyme. Wollongong, Geelong, Kurrajong, you know. So 2 hours I'd written it out. And it wasn't even a tune, it was a chant.
Did you have an atlas sitting there with you? 3
road maps.
3 road maps.
Yeah. So South Australia, West Australia, they didn't get a town in the first version. And so I sat down the road, and that night I was working with Lucky Grills at Coolangatta, and I said, hey, I've written this thing. I said, oh, at the end of the night we were closing up, there was about 7 of us in the show, and I said, hold these, let me read them. So he held them up, and I read it. And much to my surprise, they got a big hand. I thought that was great, and it was the first time I'd done it. And I thought, oh, I better learn this.
It was one thing for the song to be a hit with Lucky Star here, but it was another thing for a big US country star, Hank Snow, to record the work. How did you feel when Hank Snow recorded it?
I was amazed. And then I got a certificate from BMI to say it was the leading country music song of 1963, and I never thought of it as a country music song.
No, it's interesting, isn't it? Yeah.
See? That was actually it's rap-a-ba-da-da-da. I've Been Everywhere, man. It's a jazz riff.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. But it also has a feel of kind of a trucking song as well, doesn't it? And trucking music forms part of country music. I mean, the song has been recorded according to our records, about 130 odd times, including by people like Johnny Cash, Dolly Parton, huge stars. Whose is your favourite version?
A group called Rural Group 4, they call themselves. I think they're in Los Angeles. And they do it a cappella, you know.
Right.
Musical, that's terrific, their harmony in it. I thought, how can anybody make that thing sound good? But they do.
The song has had many lives, really, over the past 50 years, but perhaps none as successful as in the last few years, where it was used in a major advertising campaign by Telstra.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Rihanna has used this line from it. The Telstra campaign in particular must have really, you must have felt that you were back in the front of the audience, so to speak, because here was the song on our television screens being played every night, really.
Yeah, not really a song.
Well, you say it's not a song. You call it a chant, don't you? Almost a chant.
Yeah, it is a chant with a riff chorus. Yeah, that's. Yeah, I never thought of myself as a writer.
No.
Because most things I didn't write, I used to make them up and remember them.
Mm. Until that incredible and fortuitous moment in 1959 when you were irritable and you were sick of the 12-bar blues on the radio, silly novelty songs, and you wrote one of the most successful Australian songs, chants in history.
Yes.
It's such a great story.
I never think of it as a song. It's a chant.
Well, I'm old enough to remember it as a hit by Lucky Star. Well, and I well remember being with my family, trying to figure out what all the names of all the places were, and it was an irresistibly catchy idea that has gone so well over the years.
Yes.
I hope you don't mind me saying, but you're, I think, just about APRA's most long-standing member. Very, very close to APRA's most long-standing member.
1962.
62. And currently one of APRA's most successful members, if I might say so as well. So, Geoff, it's been such a pleasure talking to you, and I can't thank you enough for making the time to come and see us. Congratulations on song in your career.
Everywhere, don't call me a square.